Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked into a woman's eyes and wondered, does she truly love me? Not the kind of love that comes from convenience or attraction, but that rare, pure love that shakes her soul. You see, most men today mistake attention for affection. A few text messages, some laughter, a bit of warmth, and suddenly they assume she loves them. But Marcus Aurelius once said, "Examine what is being said, not who says it." In other words, don't judge love by what you're told. Judge it by what you see and feel through action. Love, real love, is silent. It doesn't scream. It doesn't post, it shows. And when a woman truly loves a man, her behavior changes. She does things she wouldn't do for anyone else. Not because she has to, but because her soul chooses to. But here's the hard truth most men don't realize. A woman's love is not proven in the easy moments. It's revealed in the difficult ones. When life gets heavy, when you lose yourself, when the world forgets you, that's when you'll see what kind of woman she truly is. Marcus Aurelius taught us that you become what you give your attention to. So if she loves you, you'll see her giving her energy, her patience, her care, not to impress you, but to build with you. And in this video, we're diving deep into 6 things women do only for the men they truly love, through the lens of Stoicism and female psychology. These are not gestures of drama or obsession. They are quiet acts of devotion, resilience, and truth. By the end of this video, you'll see love differently. You'll stop chasing words and start recognizing actions. So before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to Stoic Daily and like this video, because what you're about to hear might just change how you understand love forever. Stay till the end, because love isn't what you think it is. And by the last point, you'll realize that Stoicism and true love are deeply connected in a way few people understand. Let's begin. Point 1, she supports your purpose. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a woman believe in your dream more than you did yourself? The kind of belief that almost makes you emotional. Because deep down, you know she doesn't love what you have, she loves who you're becoming. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A man's worth is measured by the things he pursues." And that's the kind of truth that a woman who truly loves you understands without needing to read philosophy. She sees your direction, your fire, your hunger, and instead of dimming it, she fuels it. Let me tell you a story. Marcus, before becoming emperor, was just a quiet philosopher. He spent nights reading, writing, reflecting, while others chased power and pleasure. And history tells us that his wife, Faustina, despite their differences, stood beside him through wars, through long absences, through loneliness, because she believed in something more than comfort. She believed in his mission. Now think about your own life for a second. Has there ever been a woman who looked at you not for your money, not for your looks, but for your potential? The woman who asked, "What do you want from life?" and actually listened? That's the one whose love has depth. Because a woman who loves you truly, she doesn't get jealous of your purpose, she protects it. She knows your mission gives you meaning. And even when you're tired, broke, or lost, she'll whisper the words that rebuild you. She'll remind you of the man you said you wanted to become when you first met her. That's not just love, that's partnership. That's what Marcus Aurelius would call virtuous love. Love built not on pleasure, but on purpose. So when she stands by you while you chase something bigger than both of you, don't take that lightly. That's not ordinary love, that's sacred. Because one day when success finally finds you, you'll realize the greatest reward wasn't the dream you achieved. It was the woman who believed in it before the world ever did. Point 2, she mirrors your energy and peace, not chaos. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people make your world louder, while others somehow make it quieter? That's the difference between someone who loves your attention and someone who truly loves you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And when a woman truly loves you, her soul begins to align with your energy, not to control it, but to bring it peace. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a man coming home after a long day, his face tired, his mind heavy. He's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Many women would react to his silence with irritation, thinking he's distant or cold, but the one who truly loves him, she doesn't. She senses his storm before he even speaks. She quietly puts down her phone, walks toward him, and simply places a hand on his chest. No words, no questions, just presence. That's not silence, that's understanding. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." A woman who loves you deeply learns this kind of emotional discipline. She doesn't absorb your chaos. she neutralizes it. In Marcus's own life, when he was facing political pressure, wars, and sickness, he often wrote about finding stillness amid noise. It's said that during those times, his wife Faustina didn't argue or demand. She stayed by his side quietly, offering calm in the chaos. Ask yourself, have you ever met someone who made you feel safe just by being near them? Someone whose silence spoke more comfort than 1,000 words? That's the love Marcus would call peaceful strength. Because a woman who truly loves you doesn't want to fight you. She wants to feel you. She mirrors your calm, not your anger. When you're quiet, she doesn't assume the worst. She senses your exhaustion. When you're lost, she doesn't panic. She becomes your compass. So if you've ever had a woman who matched your peace instead of your chaos, don't lose her. She's not just loving your body. She's healing your mind. And in a world full of noise, that kind of love is sacred. Point 3, she forgives without forgetting. Let me ask you something. Have you ever hurt someone you love? Not because you wanted to, but because you were careless, tired, or lost in your own emotions? We've all been there. And in those moments, you learn something powerful about love, because real love doesn't walk away after the first wound. It stays and heals. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When someone does you wrong, immediately consider what view led them to do so." He was teaching us the essence of compassion, to understand before judging. And that's exactly what a woman does when she truly loves you. She sees your mistake, your weakness, your imperfection, and she looks beyond it. She doesn't love the perfect version of you. She loves the human one. Let me tell you a story. Marcus Aurelius' wife Faustina was not perfect. Some ancient records say she was unfaithful. Others say she was misunderstood. But do you know what Marcus did? He never publicly shamed her, never turned bitterness into words. He continued to speak of her with gentleness and respect. Why? Because he understood that love is not about proving who's right, it's about protecting what's real. Now think about your own life. Have you ever seen a woman forgive you when she had every reason not to? The woman who stayed when you lost your temper, who didn't throw your past in your face every time you fought. That's not weakness, that's strength in disguise. A woman who truly loves you forgives not because you deserve it every time, but because she sees the good in you fighting to come out. She doesn't forget what you did, she remembers it so the relationship doesn't repeat the same mistake. She uses forgiveness as a bridge, not a blindfold. Marcus once said, "To love only what happens, what was destined." No greater harmony. When she forgives you, she's choosing harmony over ego. She's saying, "I see your flaws, but I also see your effort to grow." So if you have that kind of woman, who forgives without forgetting, who gives you another chance to become better, hold her close. Because love like that isn't just emotional, it's divine. And once it's gone, no apology can bring it back. Point 4, she stays when life gets hard. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen love that doesn't run when things fall apart? Because anyone can hold your hand when you're shining, but only someone who truly loves you will hold it when your world begins to break. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." And that's not just a lesson for battle or philosophy. It's a lesson for love. Real love isn't proven in the happy moments. It's revealed in the difficult ones. Let me take you back to a story. When Marcus Aurelius was fighting wars far from home, Rome was in chaos. Disease spread, soldiers died, and his empire trembled. He could have given up. He could have fallen into despair. But through it all, his wife Faustina remained by his side. Through war, through loss, through uncertainty, she didn't just love the emperor. She loved the man who carried the weight of a crumbling world. That's the kind of love most people don't understand anymore. Because when things get tough, bills, stress, failures, many choose to leave. But a woman who truly loves you doesn't see your struggle as a burden. She sees it as a bond. Think about it. Have you ever had someone who stayed when you were broken? The woman who didn't care that you had nothing left to give, but still held you like you were everything? That's not ordinary love, that's loyalty at its purest. Marcus believed that challenges are opportunities to become stronger. And the same truth applies to love. When she stays through your storms, she's not only loving you, she's building with you. She's saying, "I didn't choose you for the good days. I chose you for every day." You'll know she truly loves you when she doesn't leave while you're down, but instead helps you stand again. Because love isn't tested in the warmth of comfort. It's proven in the cold of hardship. So if you have a woman who holds your hand when the world turns its back on you, don't let her go, because in that moment you're not just looking at love. You're looking at your reason to rise again. Point 5. She respects your solitude. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a woman who understood your silence? Not the silence that comes from anger, but the silence that comes from exhaustion, reflection, or just needing a moment to breathe. Most people think love means constant talking, constant presence, constant attention. But Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, saw it differently. He once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." And a woman who truly loves you, she understands that truth without needing to read a single line of philosophy. Let me tell you a story. During the long wars of Marcus Aurelius, he often wrote letters and reflections alone at night. He missed his wife Faustina deeply, yet she never pressured him to return before his mission was complete. She trusted his solitude. She knew that silence wasn't distance, it was purpose. That's what love is supposed to feel like. When a woman truly loves you, she doesn't panic when you pull back to think. She doesn't fill the quiet with insecurity. She respects your space, knowing that solitude isn't rejection, it's restoration. Think about your own relationships. Have you ever had someone who didn't guilt you for needing space? Who didn't ask, "Why aren't you talking to me?" but instead said, "Take your time. I'll be here when you're ready." That's not detachment, that's emotional maturity. That's love that breathes instead of suffocates. Marcus Aurelius understood that strength is built in solitude, and so does a wise woman. She knows a man's silence isn't a wall, it's a workshop, where he's building his thoughts, his clarity, his peace. When she truly loves you, she'll sit beside you quietly, not demanding attention but sharing presence. Because love isn't about talking all the time, it's about understanding when words aren't needed. So if you found a woman who respects your solitude, who lets you recharge without making you feel guilty, hold her close, because she's not just giving you space, she's giving you strength. And in a world that constantly screams for attention, that kind of love is rare, sacred, and deeply stoic. Point 6, she supports you when the world turns against you. Tell me honestly, have you ever had a moment in life when everyone doubted you? When the world turned its back, when friends disappeared, and even your confidence started to fade? But in that storm, there was one person who still believed in you. One woman who stood by your side even when you had nothing left to offer but hope. That's the kind of love Marcus Aurelius cherished. When the Roman Empire was crumbling under pressure, wars on every border, betrayal in the Senate, even the plague spreading through his land, he had every reason to collapse. But there was one thing that kept his spirit from breaking: his wife Faustina. While the world saw an emperor burdened with impossible decisions, she saw the man behind the crown. When he felt the weight of failure, she reminded him that his worth wasn't measured by victory or power, but by the goodness of his heart. Marcus once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." And Faustina didn't just love his greatness, she loved his struggle, his sleepless nights, his doubts, his imperfections. Now think about your own life. Have you ever had a woman who believed in you even when you didn't believe in yourself? Who looked into your tired eyes and said, "You've got this"? That's not ordinary love, that's sacred loyalty. A woman who truly loves you doesn't run when life gets hard. She becomes your quiet strength, the calm voice in your chaos, the reason you keep going when everything else tells you to quit. Marcus didn't love Faustina because she made his life easy. He loved her because she made his pain meaningful. And maybe, just maybe, that's what real love is. Not escaping the storms, but holding hands through them. So if you found someone who stands beside you when you fall, don't ever take her for granted. Because in a world full of people who only stay for the sunshine, she chose to love you in the rain. Conclusion. Love, real love, isn't loud. It's not shown through constant words or promises. It's revealed in quiet, consistent actions. Marcus Aurelius understood this better than anyone. He believed that love is not possession, but partnership. Two souls walking through the chaos of life, holding on, not because it's easy, but because it's meaningful. So if you've ever been loved like this, truly, selflessly, take a moment and breathe in gratitude. And if you haven't found that yet, don't chase it with desperation. As Marcus said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you become calm, patient, and kind, the kind of love you deserve will find you. Love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about being real enough to be loved, even when you're not perfect. If this video touched your heart, if it reminded you of someone who stood by your side through the storm, share it with them. Let them know that you see them, that their love means something. And if you're new here, welcome to Stoic Daily, a place where ancient, Stoic wisdom meets the beauty of modern love and life. We talk about the lessons of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, but in a way that connects to your everyday struggles, your relationships, and your emotions. So before you go, hit that like button if this message resonated with you, and subscribe if you believe that love should be deeper than words. Because here we're not just learning philosophy, we're learning how to live. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.